What's happening, everyone, and welcome on back to the channel. Thank you as always for showing up, stopping by, coming on through. Let's move on into the next track here with Stranglers, Black and White. We're going to move on to Nice and Sleazy, which, if I remember correctly, a lot of you guys had recommended and suggested as well. So as we move through the albums, sometimes you just hit those recommendations no matter what. So yeah, as always, excited to give it a listen. We'll talk about it a little bit after. Here we go, guys. That already sounds awesome.
We came across the West Sea. We didn't have much idea of the kind of climate waiting. Our hands for guidance, like the children of a preacher, like a dry tree seeking water, or a daughter. Nice and sleazy, nice and sleazy does it.
That run, you heard it? I love it. Do it another time.
Nice and sleazy, nice and sleazy. Does it every time. Nice and sleazy, nice and sleazy. Does it every time. Nice and sleazy, does it. Nice and sleazy, nice and sleazy. Does it every time. Nice and sleazy, nice and sleazy. Does it every time.
I gotta step back into that groove too.
Nice and sleazy does it. An angel came from outside, had no halo, had no father, with a coat of many colors. He spoke of brothers many, wine and women, song of plenty. He began to write a chapter in his story. Nice and sleazy, nice and sleazy does it. Nice and sleazy does it. Nice and sleazy does it. Does it every time.
I mean, you know I have to. I have to. Woo. Oh, that is a perfect 3 minute and 14 second song. I think legitimately that is a perfect song. There is nothing I would change on that. There's nothing I have to critique at all. That is nice and sleazy. Where to begin with that? Everything in here is so perfectly like put into place. Burnell on the bass. I love how he's like, okay, no, forget it. What I like is that the groove of this track is very, could I describe this track as staccato in a way? This is probably not the right way. I don't know music. But like, it's just, I don't know what that means, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of straightforward. It keeps in its place. Everything is perfectly like this, right? The riff, especially the guitar riff that it opens up with, and even as it moves through. Drumming especially, right? Like, it's just like this. But in the spaces between the cuts, they are adding a lot, especially Burnell. That bass run into into Greenfield. I just lost my ability to speak. They're just adding so much in between, and that groove is a relatively simple groove, but and there's not even a lot of space to play in it. It's not like it's a talk song where there's like space and room to really like go for it. But you know what? They did. They said, "We'll make room," and make room they did. And this is a room I want to be in. Yeah, Greenfield. Not only do I love that run and how he backs up the riff at certain moments, but then you have this mini solo that it takes you from ground level to stratosphere for a little bit. This is like, remember, I don't really remember what it was called. Remember, like, was it last year too? I don't know how long it was. But remember that I think it's called like Blue Origin or whatever. I remember like William Shatner and a bunch of people like went up to space like for a little bit or space, whatever. And then they came back down. I don't know how long they were up there, but it was a very quick situation. I feel like Greenfield specifically did that in this 3-minute track. For just however long his solo was, he sent us up into orbit, into a different stratosphere. Let us float a little bit. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, how did we get here? And then before you know it, we are dropping back down into our beautiful blue planet. Like, it was just a really incredible moment in here. But the band is full of incredible moments in this track. I just thought that was the standout. Like I said, Burnell, he's stretching his proverbial wings with the bass playing. That guitar riff was nice. This was a cool track. This is a good one. Let's look at these lyrics real quick. We came across the West Sea. We didn't have much idea of the kind of climate waiting. We used our hands for guidance, like the children of a preacher, like a dry tree seeking water, or a daughter. Nice and sleazy does it. So I'm imagining this is kind of autobiographical in a sense. Maybe they're talking about, I don't know how popular or, what kind of fame the Stranglers found during their career. But I imagine perhaps this is their music spreading, their name spreading, etc., etc. And before they were just kind of, like he says, using their hands for guidance, like a dry tree seeking water, just putting their roots out there, hoping to catch something. Nice and Sleazy does it every time. An angel came from outside, had no halo, had no father. With a coat of many colors, he spoke of brothers many. Wine and women, song aplenty, he began to write a chapter in history. Nice and Sleazy does it. I don't know. Maybe that's their inspiration. Maybe that's their muse. Looking at the Wikipedia section here, it says that it reached number 18 in the UK singles chart. Strippers embellished the song during the band's headline set at Battersea Park in 1978. It says the Stranglers booked some strippers to up the show's visual aspect. I mean, that's one way of doing it. But some of the lads in the audience got a bit carried away and also stripped completely naked. I don't think that audience participation in this exact regard was invited. But I guess you could say that they're living up to the title, Nice and Sleazy. Eventually, the police were called and took down all of the young ladies' particulars. Well, there you go. That's how that went. It's a party. Well, let me know what you all thought of the track in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed it. Press the like button if you did. Press it if you didn't. Subscribe if you liked it. Subscribe if you didn't. And that's all this stuff. Look around the screen. There's some more stuff. But otherwise, I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.